bit just from a personal observation. Just that there seems to be a growing movement among young Reformed Protestants to push back against, I think, what a lot of us see as a overly emotional, sort of feelings-oriented Christianity, and to move towards a more liturgical, traditional church practice. I think that many from my generation could view the idea of Christian hedonism, this idea of being happy in the Lord, as purely an emotional experience that we should avoid. So my question, there's two of them actually. First, what is the role of liturgy and traditional church practice within Christian hedonist theology? And then second, what would you say to young Christian hedonists who feel a pull towards and a growing love for traditional and liturgical church practices?
Well, the role is inevitable. Nobody worships without a liturgy, because whatever you do is your liturgy. So it's just a fancy word for the order of service. Whatever you do, whether it's kneeling or standing or incense or bells or robes or prayers or hands up, hands down, I mean, just whatever you do is your liturgy. So that's the first thing to say is nobody escapes liturgy. And then the question becomes, what's most helpful to faith? What's most honoring to God? What's most durable through generations and so on? Good questions to ask. When I thought about this question, my first thought was, this is not new. So if the young people out here think, ooh, our generation is leaning away from slapstick evangelical worship to formal Anglican, high church, Roman Catholic worship, you're not new. Like, I'm old. I know a lot of things that have happened before you were born. Like Wheaton College, 1968, the Canterbury Road was red hot. Come on. Anglicanism was just being discovered. Because they all came out of these, low church Baptist experiences like I did. Heavenly sunshine, and I didn't know hymns when I went to Wheaton. I just knew gospel songs, and I just fell in love with historically rooted hymnology and theology, and oh my worlds opened up. And I could not shake believers' baptism for anything. No Anglicans believe in believers' baptism. No Roman Catholics believe in believers' baptism. It is a nice safeguard. Lutherans don't believe in believers' baptism. If you're going to stay with believers' baptism, if you see that in the Bible like I do, you're just stuck. However, maybe two more things. I'll explain the however in just a minute. I'm really concerned with the heart that trades truth for form. If you walk from doctrinally sound low church to formally pleasing high church because the form trumps the truth, your heart is not well. And that was true before it happened. You're unwell. Something's wrong in here. That truth has started to diminish, and form and liturgy has started to rise. And I would just plead with you, don't trade truth for form. Don't trade doctrine for mood. It's deadly. So that's my caution that rose up inside of me when I thought about this question. Now I've forgotten what the however is supposed to mean. Let me see if I can wrap this up. Hang on just a second. See if there's one more thing I want to say. Got it. Thank you. all of you BCS students and others who are here who come from just kind of ordinary lower church. You know, they don't dress like this. They all wear open collars and no coats, and they welcome people like it's a living room instead of a worship service, and you know, just average run-of-the-mill casual church. If you're unhappy with that, me too. Like that's what I've been doing for 40 years, is trying to talk about serious joy. Blood-earnest joy, die for Jesus joy, authenticity in the service that makes unbelievers come in and fall on their face and say, God is in this place. I don't like slapstick on Sunday morning. I got all kinds of ideas for how to recommend how worship leaders do their job. Chuck doesn't want to hear from me anymore. Listen. So, be creative and proactive to create worship what it ought to be. If that means leaving, I hope you go to a doctrinally sound high church, which I've already just said probably doesn't exist. It's not true. I got good friends. I mean, Presbyterians might come close, you know. Try to hold on to all the truth you love in the Bible, and then be a good leavening influence in your church for what we call here serious joy.
I want to press some of these questions further out from worship. The book covers everything from marriage to money, right? You've got titles in each chapter that are pretty wide-ranging when we think about the Christian life. The very last chapter is about suffering,